Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be sharing with you how to cut and sew this stylish gypsy dress with a stylish neckline. So if this is something you like, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. So let's dive right into today's video. So to start, here is my pattern, and I've gone ahead to mark out the basic measurements. I marked out my shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waistline. So the total length of my dress is 42 inches. But first, we're going to work on the upper part, which is my shoulder to waist, which is 17 inches. Now, I'll mark my shoulder divided by 2. From that point, I will come down by 1 inch. And from that 1 inch, the next step is to go ahead to place and draw your shoulder slope for the pattern. After you're done marking that, you're going to find your chest line or armhole line, and to get that is your bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. I made a mark on that point, and I will go ahead to draw a straight line at this point. So sorry for the double lines that I have there. I'll just go ahead to clean it off. So after this, you want to go ahead to connect from your shoulder to your chest line. Go ahead also to mark your shoulder divided by 2 at the chest line. Place your tape, and you're going to rule a straight line at that point. So after you're done marking this, you're going to divide your armhole into 2 to draw your armhole curve. Fold your tape and mark. Come out by ½ inch from that point that you marked, and you're going to place and mark your bust circumference divided by 4 at your chest line. So I'll place my tape and mark. My bust is 33 divided by 4. I have 8.3. Now you're going to connect from the upper part of your shoulder to that ½ inch you came in, and you're going to connect it down to your chest line or your armhole line. So this is what I have at this point. So next, we are going to mark our dart. And to mark your dart is your nipple to nipple divided by 2 first. You're going to mark. My nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2. I have 3.5. After I'm done marking this, I'll place my ruler and I'm going to draw a straight line. After drawing out the line, you want to go ahead to mark your dart. So I'll be marking ½ inch on both sides of the dart. And after marking that, I'll come down by 1 inch from the bust line. Now I'll go ahead to connect and also connect on the other side. So this is just like marking out your basic dart. After that, I'll go in with my marker and I'm going to outline this. So the next step you're going to take from here is to go ahead to insert your body measurements. Mark your bust circumference divided by 4, add your sewing allowance. Mark your under bust circumference divided by 4. Measure this dart intake, replace and add your sewing allowance. Now you're going to mark your waist circumference divided by 4. Measure this dart intake here, replace it after your body circumference, and then go ahead to add your sewing allowance. So for your sewing allowance, you can use up to 2 inches or more. So I'll just go ahead and connect all the lines and go ahead to use my marker to draw this out. After I'm done connecting, we are going to work on the upper part of this pattern. So to do that, from the shoulder point, I'll come in by ½ inch and I will reconnect this to my armhole. After I'm done reconnecting, I will be going out by 0.75 at this point, because what we have there is a bit small. So from my chest line, I'll be coming up by 2 inches and I will go in by 4.5 inches. So this 2 inches is not a standard. Go ahead and use any measurement of your choice that is okay for you. You can even use 2.5. So I'll go ahead to connect from the upper part down to that point, and I will go ahead to use my marker to outline this. After I'm done outlining, this is what I have for the front pattern, as simple as that. Next, we'll be moving over to the back pattern, but before we do that, I'll go ahead to cut this out. So at this point, if you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment at the comment section. If you have any question, also leave it at the comment section. So after I'm done cutting this, right, we're going to go ahead to cut the back pattern. So for the back pattern, I've gone ahead to mark out all my basic measurements just like we did for the front. The only difference is that I have a 2 inches zipper allowance at the back of the dress. So what I'll do now is to place that my pattern on it, the front pattern on it this way. So this is what I have, and I'll just go ahead to trace this out. So this is the easiest way of cutting out the back pattern without going ahead to just mark out all these measurements, because whatever you have at your front is almost the same thing as at your back. So for the neckline of the upper part, I went up a bit by 1.5 inches. I want the back neckline to be a bit higher. So after I'm done marking that, now at the zipper side, I'll come down by a ½ inch or 0.75 and reconnect. This is so that at the zipper of the dress, it won't be popping up after you wear the dress. That is, the zipper part will be a bit lower, it won't be too high at the back. So now I'll go down by ½ inch at the waistline, which I'll extend all the way up. So for my zipper allowance, I have 2 inches. Now I'll be cutting out this. This is to get rid of the bulginess at the back of the dress, to make that place or point very relaxed, because at the center of the back, if you notice, it is a bit flat. I don't know how to explain it, but it is a bit flat. So this is what I have for both of my patterns, and now we're going to cut the lower part of the dress, and the lower part of the dress is in 2 layers. So like I said, the full length of my dress is 42 inches, and we have already cut out the upper part of this dress, which is my shoulder to waist. My shoulder to waist is 17. Then I'll be doing 42 minus 17. What I have is 25 inches. So that 25 inches, I will be dividing it into 2. So dividing 25 inches into 2, I'll make one part longer and one shorter. So the first part I'll be using is 15 inches. I'll use 15 inches for the first layer and use 10 inches for the other layer. If you look closely at the dress, it seems like the first layer of the dress is a bit longer than the other one, or slightly. So another thing you want to consider is the fabric you're using. You want to make use of 2.5 or 3 yards for this dress, considering the lower part of the dress. So first, I'll mark the 15 inches. So for the first part of my dress, I'll be using about 2.5 yards. And for the lower layer of the dress, you should use extra 1 yard or 2 yards. For example, if you use 2.5 at the upper part, you should use extra 4 yards or 3 yards for that part. So now I'll be adding extra 1.5 inches to the length of this dress. So how did I get that? ½ inch will be serving as the joining allowance to the upper part. Then 1 inch will be serving as the folding allowance for the lower part of the dress. So after this, I will go ahead to cut this out. If you have any question regarding the lower part of this dress, please leave your question at the comment section. So I'll just go ahead to pin down that part so that when I'm cutting out, it will be the same length. The fabric will not move. And at this point, if you haven't yet subscribed, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave your comments at the comment section. You can also join my other YouTube channel or follow me on my other YouTube channel, which is Draft with Maki. There we do drafting or pattern illustration. So after I'm done cutting this, we are going to cut the second layer of the dress. So now what I'll do is to start measuring. So remember, we cut out the first one, which is about 15 inches, and we said the lower part will be 10 inches. So I made one part a bit longer than the other one, or you can share it equally if you like. So after marking this, you want to go ahead and also add your ½ inch for joining to the upper layer and 1 inch for folding of the dress. And another thing you should consider is, if you use 2.5 yards for the upper part of the dress, you should consider using 4 yards for the lower part, or 3.5 yards. The lower part should be a bit longer or have more material than the upper part of the dress to give you the gypsy effect at the lower part of the dress. If not, if you use the same amount of fabric, when you're gathering it at the lower part to join, it will not come out very well. So now this is the upper part, and I'm going to go ahead to place my pattern, and I'm going to go ahead to cut it. I'll be adding 1/2 inch at the lower part. By the side, will not add. So at the upper part of this dress, also in front at the neckline, you should consider adding 1/2 inch to it, which will serve as the turn up allowance for the dress. And also, when you're cutting this at the upper part of the sleeve, you're going to add 1/2 inch for joining allowance. Add 1/2 inch to this side. So when I'm getting to this lower part, I'll just cut exactly, but you can also go ahead and add 1/2 inch to that part. So this is what I have, and we'll also go ahead to cut the back pattern of this dress. So just the same way I cut the front is the same way I'll go ahead to cut out the back. So going to the zipper side, I did not add any 1/2 inch because I've already added my zipper allowance. So with this, if you find this tutorial very interesting and educative, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Also join us in our next video where we'll be joining or sewing this particular dress. And if you also want to join our WhatsApp group, you can indicate at the comment section.